High-definition television is here, and as content providers, we need to get ready. The transition to HD should be a smooth one, however, for two reasons. First of all, the vast majority of households in the United States are still SD only, so the transition is going to be a gradual one. Most people are perfectly happy with their large screen televisions, their surround sound theater systems, and their large DVD libraries. The second reason the transition is going to be smooth is that it's going to be a digital transition. The professional software you're currently using is very likely already HD compatible. In this segment, we're going to talk about the fundamentals of HD production and the future of digital television. Here's the shortest definition of high definition that we can give. HD television has 700 or more lines of vertical resolution. There are three main digital television standards in the United States right now. One SD and two HD. The SD standard is known as 480i, and the two HD standards are known as 720p and 1080i. 480i has a resolution of 720 by 480, 720p has a resolution of 1280 by 720, and 1080i has a resolution of 1920 by 1080. We'll discuss what the I's and P's mean in just a second. Analog television in the United States was defined in the 1950s by the NTSC as having 525 lines of vertical resolution. When we translate that into the digital realm, we get about 480 pixels visible on the screen, thus the name 480i. Instead of drawing every line on the screen in order, interlacing first draws every other line on the screen and then goes back to the top and fills in those remaining lines. The interlacing process is very fast at 60 fields per second and is basically invisible to the eye. Clips with very fast motion can reveal interlacing when we look at freeze frames of the video. Here we see a very fast moving clip that clearly shows the interlacing. Here's field A, field B, and together they make up a frame. Interlacing looks horrible on freeze frames, especially when you zoom way in on the details, but it was and continues to be a brilliant technical innovation. 720p video has a frame size of 1280 by 720. The P in 720p stands for progressive scanning, which means that all of the horizontal lines are scanned in consecutive order from top to bottom. This is completely different from how interlacing works. Film is an inherently progressive format, which may explain why some people feel that progressive is a superior format to interlace. 1080i is the last important HD format that we're going to talk about. The frame size of 1080i is 1920 by 1080. The I, of course, once again refers to interlacing, which means that there are two fields that make up an individual frame. The ATSC, which defined digital television in this country, actually specified a whole range of frame sizes, frame rates, and interlace methods that could be used to broadcast digital television. It's really only useful to concentrate on the three we're discussing here, since these are the broadcast standards that the networks and cable companies have settled on. Unfortunately, while 480i standard definition television is universal, most stations have chosen to either go with 720p or 1080i, but not both. Most stations are broadcasting selected programs in the larger 1080i format, including PBS, CBS, NBC, and HBO. ESPN, ABC, and Fox went with the 720p format. Which brings us finally to distribution. Before you transform your studio into an HD production facility, you're going to need to decide how you're going to deliver your product. Now, don't get me wrong, HD footage looks great on SD formats. Hollywood movies on DVD prove this, and it's also likely that your clients are going to start asking for HD sooner rather than later. A couple of years ago, you would have had to spend many tens of thousands of dollars just to get started in HD production. Today, the number of sub $10,000 cameras from Canon, JVC, Panasonic, and Sony is really remarkable. And as far as editing is concerned, it's very likely that your current professional editing software is already HD compatible. Well, that brief introduction to HD is all we're going to cover today. If you have any additional questions about this or any other technical issues, feel free to drop the Digital Juice Tech team an email or give us a call. And just remember, there are no technical solutions to what are fundamentally artistic problems, so don't let technology get in the way of your creativity.